I'm welcoming, but I want to pay particular attention to all you invitees. If you have someone that cared enough about you that they invited you to this final presentation before we launch, it's the final public webinar, and you are in for a real treat. And it mark your calendar because you're not going to be able to sleep tonight. I can most positively assure you of that if you really pay close attention to what our presenter is going to show you today and tell you about today. Get a pen and paper out, but mostly listen. Listen with your heart. Listen also with your mind, because this is a business where, again, we help each other succeed rather than competing with each other, and it's all about caring about each other, and you're going to see exactly why that is so important as our presenter gives the presentation. Now, again, I could just go on and on, but I know you guys are excited. You want to see the presentation, so I'm going to go ahead and bring on a man who is, well, he's definitely one of my heroes. He's a global leader. He's a mentor, and he's basically an inspiration to every one of us. His efforts help each and every one of us, each and every founder, and even if they're not founders, he helps. He uses his tools, he uses his talents to help us all succeed. And I could just go on and on, but I think I'm just going to let you hear what he has to say and to allow him to give his presentation to you himself. So without further ado, I would like to bring on Mr. Scott Nelson. Scott, are you there?
I am, Cindy, and you are far too kind with your words and your graciousness. So I just want you to know how much I really, really enjoy you and everything that you do, and you have a heart of gold. And it's really fun to be in OnPassive, even though we are on different teams. Genealogy-wise, we certainly are not. We've known each other for many, many years, and yet we work together, we love each other, and we support one another. And so that's what this is all about, and I'm so thankful for you. And I
Isn't it
understand.
though, Scott? And thank you so much. And I just want to mention, just before you got on, I had said something about, oh gosh, I wish that person was on my team. And Ash Mufara, our CEO, had corrected me. He said, Cindy, everyone's on your team. We're all on the same team. And you know what? That is what it's all about. And so I'm going to turn this whole thing over to you and mute myself off, okay?
Awesome, Cindy. And I understand you might have a couple of people that want to say a short greeting during the
Yeah,
presentation. So if
gonna.
it's okay.
Yes, I'm going to. Would you like me to just go ahead and text that to you, or? Uh,
Um, well, no, I'll just go ahead at a couple different spots, just kind of stop and invite you to come out and introduce who you'd like to speak if you know who they are and they're standing by, if that's okay.
okay, that sounds good.
All
Will
right.
do.
All right. Well,
And
welcome everybody. You know what this is today? This is our final, very exciting because final means that we are progressing into the new stage of Gofounders and OnPassive. And I know my phone and my email and my text has not stopped now for the last 2 weeks, because last week we did what we call the semifinal, and today is the final public presentation of OnPassive, or for OnPassive and for Gofounders. So for those of you, those thousands of you that have jumped on here by phone and by internet, I just want to thank you for joining us today. And you certainly really are in the right place at the right time. We've got people that have been actively involved helping with the presentation side. You can see some of our wonderful leaders that are surrounding our handsome CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara. We've got Victoria, Queen Victoria Leal, and Cindy, you know very well, and one of our other leaders who has done amazing things in the area of copyright and just done so much as far as print writing, authoring. A wonderful guy who's going to be just an asset to everybody who gets a chance to know him, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. We'll probably get to hear a little from Victoria and Jeffrey as we go through here today also. But I'm going to go a little more quickly today because we're trying to keep this We're going to have this posted as one of our webinars of the 2 final webinars we have in your back office. So we're going to move relatively quickly, and we're going to talk a little bit about dreaming big and thinking about the future. You know, you have to ask yourself, if money was not an issue for you, how would your life look in the next 10 years? And I think you're going to see with OnPassive, you're going to see a real opportunity for you to reach levels of success that you have really maybe up until this point in time only been able to dream of. And we're going to talk about a company that has been in the formulation and the build and the startup for the last 19 months. And now, as we reach the formal launch of OnPassive here very soon, you're going to find out a little bit about why this company is really so exciting to learn about, but it's also really beginning to take over the buzz on the internet. People are calling, like I said, they're texting. I see it over on Facebook. I see hundreds of people talking about OnPassive every time I just click on Facebook and other social media sites. And they're all talking about this startup unicorn. And you may say, well, what does a unicorn have to do with OnPassive? Well, according to Cowboy Ventures founder Eileen Lee, back in 2013, she described 2 types of company, a unicorn company and a super unicorn company. And you can see that these 2 companies are very few and far between because they are companies that are less than 10 years old. And a unicorn company is valued already in its first 10 years or less at over $1 billion. That's with a B, $billion. And what I believe we're going to see happen here in this incredible opportunity and platform, this company OnPassive, we definitely are on our way to becoming a super unicorn company. That's a startup that is less than 10 years that has a valuation of over $100 billion. You know, I look online and I see so many people chasing the golden ring and hoping they're going to get rich. And sadly enough, there's so many of these companies that are just opening up for a few months and then shutting down. And so many people are hurt and disappointed. And it's so incredibly, I'm incredibly honored to be part of what's happening here. Because if you look at the unicorn, only 1.28% of these startups ever become unicorns. That means that 98 out of 100 will never achieve that level. In fact, Facebook is an example of a recent super unicorn company. Now, there's something happening. There's a paradigm shift, and you've heard the term now about unicorn as it relates to finance. But in 2013, Eileen Lee, she wrote a report about startups that were less than 10 years old and valued at $1 billion or more. And this is really setting a precedent. It's a buzz out in the world today. You start to see some of these companies that you've never heard of a week ago that are now valued at over $1 billion. So get ready for OnPassive to set these same standards. We are going to become a unicorn, and we are going to exceed the possibilities of what people believe at this point in time. We're big thinkers, and we want you to dream big also. And while the rarity has, gotten a little bit, it's a little bit more common now to see unicorns, there are still only a little bit more than 370 unicorns companies that are worldwide. So you can see how rare it still is. And this says a lot about our founders in terms of their long-term vision, their commitment, the leaders of these companies, and our leadership. It's absolutely top-notch. And we have the capability as a company to scale from really where we began about, the Founders Program around 13 months ago with almost nothing in terms of money, product, and people. And we've seen our status as a company grow to over 38,000 founders, almost 39,000. And that the vision that we enjoy through our founder and CEO, Ash Mufareh, OnPassive is going to and is already on its way to become a world-class corporation, a unicorn certainly, and eventually, very shortly after, a super unicorn. This is an opportunity for those of you who are guests today to be able to get involved and become one of us, our global founders that are on their way to establishing history with this online marketing miracle that is going to be changing the way business is done from home, online, offline, traditional, and non-traditional. So what you're going to learn in this webinar will be a number of things. We've talked about unicorns. We're going to talk a little bit about globalism and how it affects business today. We're going to talk about OnPassive, of course. We're going to touch on just one little part of the compensation program and highlight on some of our products. Now, I will tell you that because of the length of these webinars, we don't go into great detail. So if you're looking for great detail, you'll want to get back to the person who invited you here today, or if you're a new founder, you'll want to get back to people that invited you to join and when you registered, and they should be able to get your specific questions answered for you completely. So what is disruptive innovation or technology? People ask that all the time. We are going to talk about the 5 disruptive technologies. We're going to talk about what OnPassive products are. People always ask, hey, Scott, what are the products that OnPassive are going to offer? And I really get a little vague with that because I know what we're starting with and what it's going to look like in the years and weeks and months to come is really going to be super exciting to see what's planned as our team of leaders and our owner, CEO, Ash Mufareh, have already got vision for things that aren't even really maybe even under development or at the very early stages. And Cindy, I just wanted to jump out there and see if there was anything that you had to say, or if you wanted to invite somebody to give their experience in their first few months with OnPassive.
You know, I certainly do. I have a couple people. I was just getting the information I needed to go ahead and send it to Victoria to unmute them.
Okay,
so
all right.
If you would go ahead and speak, and then I will let you know when we're ready.
Absolutely,
okay?
no problem. You know, one of the wonderful things about being involved with OnPassive is the success. This is what it's all about. We want to make absolutely certain that you and your team succeed. And success is merely defined where preparation and opportunity meet. So we're going for the gold. It's all in your hands. And you can certainly choose to make what you would like to make out of this opportunity with OnPassive. Now let's talk a little bit about economic globalization. This is where the world began a forceful push for economic globalism some time back. So it's getting more and more intense and very much at the very forefront of our business globally and locally. So like it or not, we are all in the middle of making a change because we're not isolated anymore. We're not just one nation that has the stranglehold on the economy, the finances. We are no longer needing to rely on isolated resources with the global economy. And it's no longer about solving a few people's problems. It's about global awareness. We are becoming a community of world leading business people, economic leaders, and most of the companies that are emerging as unicorn and super unicorn companies now are companies located all over the world. Old science simply says the origin of life is random. The relationship to our body and world is one of separateness. The rule of nature is one of competition and conflict. Okay. Now, new science says the origin of life is not random. And the relationship to our body and our world is one of connectiveness. We have people on teams, I know on my team and other teams, that are all over the globe. I think Victoria said that there were only a few hundred countries, or Cindy, maybe you said that. And that's so true. In one way, the world seems so very small, but we know just how big it is. And isn't it exciting with literally these members and founders of OnPassive being located in over 100 countries of the world. So the rule of nature is cooperation and mutual benefit, and it's being and staying connected. Did you know that social, medical, and most corporate models are still pretty much based on the old science principles of competition? They all want to know, how can I benefit? And you've heard it over and over before. That's not what's important to us, because we are basing on what is important to the people that we work with. It's important because OnPassive is not based on those principles. And our principles as a team where everybody works together is to unify and help each other, whether they are personally sponsored by you or other people, in whatever way we possibly can to help them to succeed in our OnPassive business. And it's all based on mutual benefit. That's so key. And it's a very real state-of-the-art technology-driven internet business that we have here with OnPassive. People ask about, well, what is AI, artificial-driven online marketing business solutions? This is actually the ability to take extremely focused, targeted traffic, direct those targeted people using AI-driven technology to your website, or even more important, your websites. People ask me, can I promote other businesses? Absolutely. Our targeted traffic and visitors can be sent to any website or sales page that you want to direct them to. And that's really important, because we have a lot of people now that are reaching out. I had a friend of mine that has his own advertising company. He builds websites for local merchants, and he called and became a founder last week, because he says, I think what you're telling me here will be a huge benefit to my over 130 accounts that are going to want to increase the amount of traffic that is driven to their locations and their website. So this is something that can be used for nearly everything. And we have a product suite of leading edge, cutting edge, proprietary online business tool. We have top-notch professional development teams located throughout the world. Our new campus over in India has and boasts of some of the most talented software engineers, technicians, coders, and other professionals. It would rival any other company in the world with the level of talent. So, as I said, this is all about me and OnPassive and others asking you, how can we help benefit you and others? So ambition, well, ambition is the path to success. And you just need to focus on your target. Persistence is the key. It's the vehicle for you to arrive in. So I just want to encourage everybody that's listening, do not let any risk limit you on the journey from impossible to possible. Never lose sight of what you want to accomplish. And when you talk about leadership in our company, I have the privilege of getting to know Ash over the last 6 to 7 months extremely well through numerous conversations. And I'll tell you, I am so very impressed when I have people ask me about the leadership of this company. It's so easy to give Ash just an extremely high review, just because of the personal experience and hours of conversations that we have enjoyed together. Ash is extremely gifted. He's 20 years or more now in the online business. He's never, ever owned a business. So this is his first business that he's owned. And man, I'll tell you what he and his team have shown has been absolutely phenomenal in my first 13 months of being part of this Founders program. You certainly could not find a more enjoyable, committed, trustworthy online business model for any leader to be at the helm. Ash has his hand and his mind wrapped around this. I would hate to say it, but it's probably true. Many, many hours, perhaps as many as 20 to 22 hours a day. Ash has a tremendous track record as an affiliate marketer, yet he suffered some of the same consequences and things that you and I have. I mean, in their industry, it's very difficult for people to succeed, especially if you're a baby boomer like myself and many others that don't have a lot of computer training and skill. Ash is not only a tremendous businessman, but a family man with a beautiful wife and children. He received his Master's of Information and Technology of E-commerce, called an MIT. He's attended Harvard University, where he specifically focused on online business creation. And he's a researcher and he's a student and he wants to learn. That's part of who he is. So he has taken time to research some of the great companies in the world. So we have at our fingertips very soon, as we get ready to launch OnPassive, just absolutely the very best, least expensive, and more easily accessible products. This is disruptive innovation, which creates new markets and reshapes existing ones by building major positions in the marketplace that an existing company previously valued. True disruptors like us, OnPassive, start by appealing to low-end consumers, the small home-based business entrepreneur like you, ones that tend to be overlooked due to low company profits, individually owned small businesses that are right down on your local street corners, and they open up new markets to previously non-consumers. This is what OnPassive is doing and doing very well. OnPassive is taking disruption to a whole new level. And the top
Scott?
5, yes.
I'd like to see if we have one of our guests, Mr. Paul Galloway, if he's able to come on board and speak for just less than a minute, just to go over what he has found to be what really attracts him to OnPassive and Gofounders, what really attracted him. Do you have a minute that he could?
Absolutely, please. Welcome to hear Paul.
Okay, Paul, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yes, we can hear you. Talk a little louder.
Okay. Is that
go
better?
ahead. Yep.
Well, the main thing that attracted me to OnPassive is that everyone will be successful. You know, it's a business that you just have to join to be successful. I mean, that's huge. And as anyone that's been online for any time at all knows that very few people out there are making it online at the different programs. And I call them programs, and ours is a business because they're around for a few months and gone. And very few people actually can make a living at it. We have a system here and a platform that has everything you will ever need under one roof, and even things you didn't even know you needed. So it's a perfect business, the only business you'll ever need. And I love working with you.
Thank you very much, Paul. And also, I also wanted to, and I appreciate you giving us that input. Paul is a tremendous leader. He cares about everyone that he has brought into the company, and I really love that about him, and that's why we wanted him definitely to speak up. And also we have Mr. Vernon Hale out of Pennsylvania, who has a minute to speak a few words, just to say what he finds that he especially loves about OnPassive. Vernon Hale, are you available?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Cindy. Look, guys, this opportunity opened my eyes to something. Let me explain first that I had left the industry in 2018 because I was disgusted. And a friend, the one down in LT, said, you got to take a look at it. And I went through the webinar, Scott's webinar, awesome webinar. And then I went through Jeffrey's ebook. And I was looking for something to say no. And what I found was the solution. We call it the world's internet, the world's global internet, I should say, marketing solution. And that's exactly what it is. It's the solution to every problem that marketers face online, whether you are a professional marketer or whether you're someone that is looking to make a few dollars from home. This is the system that is going to revolutionize the entire industry. And why do I say that? They have the tools, they have the leadership in one Ash Mafar, and Scott Nielsen, Cindy Hopkins, Victoria Neal. They just have the leadership, guys. All right.
Thank
They
you
have
very
the
much.
tool suite. Okay.
Thank you so much, Vernon. Really appreciate that. And with that, Scott, I would like to go ahead and have you turn it back to you. Okay?
Yeah, that's great. But I'd like to see, because I remember last week, Victoria did such an incredible job on this slide and the next one. And Victoria, I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot, but would you like to step out here? Everybody loves your voice and
Put her
hear what.
on the spot. We love to hear her.
Well, Scott, after that, I don't have a lot to say because you pretty much covered it. But I did want to just make sure that people understood exactly what a disruptive innovation was. And I know that we hear about a lot of different companies and that may be called a disruptive innovator when they're really not. And so I just wanted to just briefly, real quick, just to give a couple of examples here. We talk about Amazon being a disruptive innovator, and they certainly are. For one thing, Amazon targeted both the low-end consumers, as you've mentioned, and the previously non-consumers of the book-selling industry. And what they did, they eventually gained the high-end consumers that many of the established brick-and-mortar bookstores were previously valued that top position. But then when Amazon came along, they kind of took that over, totally disrupting the book-selling industry. And Uber, for example, on the other hand, is not a disruptive innovation because they, first of all, did not originate with low-end consumers, nor did they create a new market where none previously existed. And those are the two qualifiers, and that is exactly what OnPassive is doing. In fact, we are taking into consideration both the low-end consumer and the previous non-consumer, and that is what is going to cause us to be a total disruption to the online marketing industry.
Wow, see, you make it so easy to understand that, Victoria. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Really, really appreciate you and all your input. And okay, Scott, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Victoria. Beautiful description of what disruptive technology is and what makes successful disruptive innovation. Well, obviously, enabling technologies. An invention or an innovation makes a product more affordable and accessible to a wider base of the population. The innovative business model, a business model that targets non-consumers. These are new customers who previously may not have bought products or services in a given marketplace, or low-end consumers, which of course are the lowest profit of customers. Coherent value network, a network in which suppliers, partners, distributors, and customers are each better off when the disruptive technology prospers. I love this picture here because it reminds me truly of the most important value to most people. If you ask them, would you rather work 150 hours a week and make $1 million a day, or would you rather be able to make enough income to choose what you want to do, where your time was your time, that nobody could take it away? And I think this picture envisions a young family, because with OnPassive, I believe that you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do. And if you are a young family or you are a senior like myself who is beyond raising his own children and now loves to spoil his grandchildren, then I think you are going to have a very bright and very enjoyable future with OnPassive. It's time for you as family and friends to be able to enjoy the unconditional love and take charge over your futures. So a lot of people want to know, what do we have as products with this company? And I always say, well, what don't we have? If you're a marketer, if you are an online entrepreneur, or if you just want to become successful working online, we have all done for you online and offline business solutions that will change your life forever. You start looking at some of these products, I won't take the time to name them all. I simply cannot see anything else that somebody that was trying to make money online would ever want to have. With OnPassive, you'll have more marketing tools than you could ever use in your lifetime. So get ready with our proprietary. These are built from the ground up, no cheap copycats, no rentals. This is our own software, and it belongs to the affiliates with OnPassive and our customers. Now, as a non-competitive self-funding online marketing solution, it is disruptive by design and driven by artificial intelligence. This is the #1 disruptive technology, and it's going to change. I talk to people online. I say, this technology is going to make previous online business opportunities completely obsolete unless they are using this technology with OnPassive. There's our beautiful office building. It's not completely ours, obviously. I don't want to mislead you, but we are located in that beautiful facility there in Orlando, Florida. It's a beautiful building. I haven't been there, but I kind of drool over those pictures, and I imagine Ash is probably sitting up there looking out the window right now and waving because of the beautiful weather that he is enjoying there this time of year. This company is created to absolutely guarantee success for its members and the longevity for the company with the following criteria. First of all, we are global. We are currently in over 100 countries of the world, and it's growing daily. Some of the countries I see that pop up in our back office where new founders are joining are places I've never even heard of before. This is a business that everybody can afford. If you decide that you want to be a founding member while they are still available, as time is growing short, before long we won't have the opportunity to become a founding member. But if you'd like to become a founding member, you can do so for $97 as a founding member, and that will be good for 12 full months of membership. So from the moment OnPassive goes live in the very near future, you will have 12 full months of outstanding founder benefits, and I'll touch on those in just a moment. Unlimited residual income that comes every day, every week, every month, and it's paid in real time. A fully 100% hands-free automated marketing platform. Now, this is huge for people my age because, like I said, we're not really computer geniuses. Most of us that are baby boomers know very little about operating computers. And so that scares a lot of people off. Not only is the software scalable, but it's fully automated. It's done for you. And it is absolutely going to be a joy to be able to use. There are no withdrawal fees. So when you want to take your commissions in real time, you will not be charged to withdraw your commissions. Unlimited earnings. That's right. No hand on your head. This is a company that is going to make sure that the maximum amount of income is paid. And I love the sound of unlimited earnings because many people are going over and above during this founders pre-launch here with OnPassive, and there are people literally that have thousands, if not tens of thousands of members now with OnPassive as founders on their team. And you're going to have instant access to your payments. So if you've ever been in a company that makes you wait and they mail out a check or they pay you once a month, not so. You'll never have to worry about that with OnPassive because it's real time and you get paid on every transaction in your organization. You can look at just one part as an example to our compensation plan here. I'm not going to go into great detail, but what I am going to touch on obviously will vary. The earnings, of course, will vary depending on the individual affiliate's efforts. Okay, that's really important to remember. And, you know, depending on the length of time each day or each week that you decide you want to engage and pay attention to what's happening, the harder that you work at the very beginning, like we are right now, obviously is going to have a certain effect on how much money you will make. Just keep in mind, in no way do we want to represent that any of these numbers that are displayed, and we're not making any claims presented that. We are not wanting at all or intending to serve as any guarantee of income. Obviously, this is a pay plan that is unlimited. And of course, this is just the first part that we have been able to see as founding members. This is a forced matrix. It's called a 3x. As you can see in this example here, there are 10 levels. However, this is an unlimited depth forced matrix, so the sky is the limit. But it's a very unique matrix because you'll see that by looking at the top, the gold level affiliate membership is $25 per month, and you can actually be in as many as 4 different memberships in one matrix. That's almost like taking people, and if they are also active in the matrices or the membership levels that you are at, you can actually get paid 4 different times on the same people in each of those 4 levels, the 25, 125, 250, and 500. So you can see the potential. Each member that joins when we go live with OnPassive, an affiliate will begin at $25. And on your first level below you, you can see that you have 3 other members. And then that goes all the way down. When you get down to the 10th level with 59,000 on that level of people that could fill your matrix. Also, if you add that together, it would be well over 80,000 potential members in your organization through the 3x10 in this example that would be paying you. And depending on the level of membership that they are in, because you can be in all 4, you can be in the 25 only. The wonderful thing about this matrix is the potential. If you look at the bottom right, the running total, if you look at having a full matrix, and as an example, that everybody in your matrix was all in. That means that they are in the 25, the 125, the 250, and the 500. If that happened, can you imagine the potential of earning over $2 million per month? That's right. You heard me correctly, $2 million per month. Now, as people that hear me speak over and over about this compensation, I like to deal in more of a realistic, because I've been in this industry for the last 46 years now, and I cannot comprehend what it would even feel like. So I really can't imagine what it would feel like to earn over $2 million a month. So I'm going to roll this back in a couple of examples. If you only achieved in your first few years or first few months or first decade 10% success, not 2 million a month, but if you had a 10% success rate, would you be happy, or could you live comfortably on $200,000 per month? I think most of us could. You remember that boat that we saw, that yacht or cruise ship? We could probably have our own earning incomes of over $1 million per year. Then what if you only had 1% success rate of that full matrix? Would you be comfortable in your life with your family earning over $20,000 per month? That's $250,000 a year. And I would say that we would all probably in unity agree that that would be a lovely income. But there are going to be incredible incomes for people that are already founders, and for those that are joining us, not just as founders, but also as affiliates. There are going to be people that will create incomes through this automated hands-free system that will absolutely set records in our industry. So I'd like to go out, and I don't know, Victoria, if you hooked up Jeffrey Morlock, but Jeffrey has been an absolute blessing. Many people have gotten to know Jeffrey from the ebook that he authored and wrote. It's back in your back office there with gofounders.net. Jeffrey's also just on fire for the opportunity with OnPassive and has a lot to add. Jeffrey, are you available to give us a short little testimonial about what's going on with you and your experience with OnPassive?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Jeffrey. Go ahead.
Wonderful. I guess my first question is, are you looking for a personal testimony?
Whatever's on your mind.
Okay, I mean, I can handle a couple of slides if you want, but on a personal side, absolutely, I'm all in it to win it, as we say here. Quite frankly, I like listening to people. I mean, everybody has their story, and I think that all our stories tie us together. When I was first introduced to Gofounders, I was skeptical. I can't lie to you, Ian. I was like, this is too good to be true. And my daddy said, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So I started doing a lot of research. That book that we've got, The Paradigm Shift that is on Passive, our ebook, which incidentally now is in about 20 different languages. So, I mean, that was a big hit, and it's been rolling out. But that actually started as a research paper for me, so I could get my teeth into what Gofounders was, because like the young man that had spoke previously, I was looking for the hook. You know, I was looking like, this cannot be. This is just, nobody can do this. You can't guarantee it. You can't make that kind of money. And the more I researched, the more I dug into it, and the more I went into past webinars, the more I got thinking, wow, this is huge. This is going to be huge. And even then, I didn't know how big. So that's kind of what got me started. And it wasn't until I really started listening to Mr. Mufara on the webinars that I was listening to his heart. I was listening to the message, not so much his words, but how he was saying them and what he was relaying to us through his past experience and his dreams and his vision. And I just, man, I'm telling you, I get goosebumps still when I think about it. I am just so on board with this that there's nothing that can really stop us. And I saw the first shift in momentum. It was toward the end of last year when we hit 5,000 or 6,000 founders, that I think that's when Mr. Mufara said, wow, you know, we better catch up with this because it's taken off. And that's when he really started going to work and really started making things happen. And I'll tell you, I jumped on board and I love it. I'm not looking back. We've got the momentum. We've got the prestige. We've got the drive, the motivation. We've got the leaders. We've got everything in place. And I am just so jazzed up by it all that it's absolutely phenomenal to me that anybody that would look at this would still shake their head and go, I don't know. I'm like, man, if you're ready for it, you're going to do it. And if you're not ready for it, you won't do it because you won't see it. That's all. You just got to have some vision.
That's right. That's putting it perfectly, because as I said earlier, with our marketing platform, it is really going to eliminate the past low standards of most of the online network marketing, online business models that are there, really making it completely obsolete. In fact, you know, our Buckminster Fuller, his great quote says that if you never change things by fighting against the existing reality, to change something, you need to build a new model. And that's exactly what Ash and his team have done. And this is going to make the others obsolete. I really am challenged a lot of times, like you said, Jeffrey, when people look at this and they just cannot grasp it. And yet you can talk to them directly and you can ask them, how many visitors do you think each month you're directing or your traffic is getting to your sales or video pages or your website or your product pages? And sadly, about 90% say, I don't have any traffic coming. I don't know what you're even talking about. And so we know one thing for certain is that the future is not to be anything other than brilliant. This is a magical journey we're on. When you look at nearly 40,000, and we haven't even been promoting this except for the last few months, and yet the buzz is increasing. And I believe that we could very likely see millions of affiliates join this company in the first couple of years. And what a position to be a founding member and take advantage of that. Compile your hard work with faith, work hard, keep your eye on the finish line, your eye on the price, get in it to win it, and just watch how your whole life changes and your family's lives and your freedom to live the life that up until now you've only enjoyed. Our unique new business model is amazing. It's easily accessible in one place. Everything is there in one website for you. It's by far the lowest price on the globe. For those of you that have been familiar, let's talk about just one product that I am so excited about. Being a presenter professionally for the last 20 plus years, I know how important it is to have a good webinar platform that works faithfully and gives you many options. Well, we have something that's already been developed that will be part of our affiliate membership with OnPassive, that many people, including myself, have paid over $1,000 a month for a webinar platform that will hold over 1,000 people. And now we have that, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, except not over $1,000, but how about $25? It's truly phenomenal what's going to happen. We're going to seek to help you and work together with you and commit to you to obtain complete abundance. We provide those with no business or success in online marketing, truly a hands-free plug-and-play system that guarantees your success. We seek to increase their abundance. We provide you a platform to those with online business and marketing jobs so that you can enhance and increase your profitability and become more successful. Why do we need this? Just look at a few of the current business models on the internet. And Cindy, I know that you are really, really aware of these differences because we see them. We're experienced network marketers and we've worked together for years. And Cindy, do you mind commenting not only on your own experience, but maybe touch on a few of these slides here, these two slides that compare today's model with the models that are now becoming available with OnPassive?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to, Scott. I'll tell you, and thank you for that, just because I even as Jeffrey was speaking, and then, well, of course, earlier when Victoria and Paul, Vernon, all of them, and always, of course, your heart is so in the right place. But we have such a tremendous example with Ash Mufareh as our leader, as the creator of this wonderful business opportunity for all. And I love the fact that Ash Mufareh emphasizes to all of us continually, and he has from the get-go. I got in this a year ago, just shortly after Ash Mufareh it was just an idea, didn't even have a website or anything. But he has always maintained how we are all connected, And I really want people to feel that. I mean, we are all connected. And so, what we have now is based on competition and conflict. 97% are scams. They turn into money pits. They require you to go out and sell. They require you to go out and recruit. When you have no one, they all run from you because you've tried to recruit them for so many things that went south. The tools are obtained separately, and a lot of times they'll charge you extra for all those tools. Okay, and I mean, cost, they just keep upselling and upselling. And of course, never do you see that a company in other businesses have I ever seen a guarantee other than when I maybe purchased a health product and they would give me 3 days to change my mind. But here it's a lifetime guarantee. I mean, that's unheard of in this industry. And it also pits marketers against each other. In other words, Scott, instead of, even though you're not on my personal team, I'm not on your personal team, nor am I on Victoria's personal team. But we are all connected. We are all striving, and this whole business is built so that we are helping each other achieve huge success. And I love that. We are connected. Instead of being pitted against each other, we are there to help each other. And the compensation in other companies is based on, if I want to earn an income, I got to do the work myself always. I'm not relying on anybody else. But here, we're connected. The work that we all do. So this is what OnPassive is making available to every one of us. It's based on mutual benefit, each and every one of us. It's a real business. It has real products, real people. It's self-funding. It pays us to use it. Okay, I do want to touch on that the products that they have. It's, you touched on it yourself, Scott. I mean, it's included, the webinar platform is included at the $25 level instead of having to pay $1,000. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out the value is phenomenal here of what we get for the little amount that we end up paying. It's self-funding. The marketer, we don't have to sell. We don't have to recruit if we don't want to. Every tool that we need, to have success is included in this business. Every tool is included for one low price. It's 100%, and this is the kicker that I just can't believe. It blows me away. It's 100% lifetime, money-back guarantee. Now, all you invitees, I mean, really pay attention. It's 100% lifetime money-back guarantee. There is no risk here. So, I'll quote Scott, what he just said. I mean, why would you not want to give it a try? Because it's 100% money-back guarantee. Marketers compete only with themselves. I compete with myself. That's it. It's a revolutionary breakthrough compensation plan, revolutionary technology, never seen before technology. I could just go on and on and on, Scott, but really we're limited on the time here, and so I'm going to, maybe Victoria has a little bit to add here.
Well, actually, what I'd like to do, since we are disrupting things, I want to bring Ash out and just let him talk.
Yay, I'd love to bring him out. Let's make him.
That?
We'll just have a silent sit-in here.
Ash, are you there?
Good luck with that, Victoria.
Oh, he said give him a minute and he'll be right here.
All
Sounds like
right. It's exciting. That's a great opportunity for people out there
Absolutely.
to be able to hear the vision. I just wanted to really quickly, before Ash jumps on here, I wanted to talk a little bit about the opportunity to become a founder. People, we need to make sure that if you're a guest here today, understanding the difference between the opportunity that we currently have. Our developers and Ash have set up a wonderful private website for those of you that want to become founding members. The cost, once again, was $97, and that will cover you for the first full year. It's not a monthly payment. It's a one-time special pre-registration for founders only. The actual opportunity with OnPassive has not yet launched, but we are getting very close. We're getting close enough now where the focus will become getting this launched. And so this is why today's public webinar is our final that will carry us now into the beginning, the launch of OnPassive. We're not certain when that date's going to be, but we are sensing that it could be any time. And it's going to be amazing because we will be well on our way to becoming a unicorn company very, very quickly. So it's never too late to take action. And so just understand that it will become too late to become a founding member, because once that opportunity goes away, it's gone away forever. That price is going away here in the next few days, weeks, or months, but it's coming very, very quickly. So we want to make sure that you don't get caught with your pants down, if you pardon my expression. But we want to also make sure that you understand the benefits. These are absolutely huge, because becoming a founder is going to give you some tremendous advantages, not just in the tools that you get and the team building that is going to happen on behalf of our founders, but you get to be involved at the very beginning. So that's naturally going to give you priority positioning. And it's going to give you access to the top information before the public knows. You're going to be able to vote, make suggestions, brainstorm with our leaders and with our founder. And you are going to be part of the inner circle that is going to be working hand in hand with others. And when we are ready to go over to the OnPassive website, Not to mention, as a founder, you will also have your very own, for the rest of your tenure as a founder, your very own Gofounders website, where there is going to be training. There's the ebooks from Jeffrey Morlock. There is over, I think, 100 different sales pages that you can use that are coded to you. So when you send them out to your friends and family, there's video presentations, there's webinar presentation invitations, there's all sorts that are professionally done. The graphics are outstanding. And anytime somebody fills out the form and submits it, and if they decide they want to become a founder, it is going to be credited immediately to you. And you're going to be able to be a beta tester. Can you imagine when we look back in the next few months, next few years ahead of us, and when this company could be millions of members globally, and say, wow, I remember when we got to beta test the platform. So I really want to encourage you to become an OnPassive founding member. But if you decide that you do not want to join as a founder, that's not a problem. Just tell the person that has invited you here just to let you know when we are ready to accept general enrollment as affiliates. They will give you their link to their OnPassive website, and you will be off to the races. So with that being said, Ash, I don't know if you're ready yet or not. Are you there? Okay. Ash?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, there he is.
Have you been talking about me? Because you sound like I was supposed to talk. Did
Yes.
you do something here, Vicky? Speak up.
Vic, it was Vicky's idea.
We
Don't
are
get mad at
being
me.
disruptive, and we're putting people on the spot, and it's
Did I
okay.
miss anything here? Well, hello, everybody. I am so delighted that we are doing this, and I'm even more honored to see the level of intelligence and the level of entrepreneurship and leadership that our great leaders are exhibiting. Thank you so much, Vernon and Paul and Victoria, perhaps Cindy and Scott, and many more who would love to speak up and voice
Jeffrey.
in the.
Don't forget Jeffrey, our
I
wonderful
wouldn't.
Jeffrey.
Yes, indeed. And of course, Jeffrey and everybody. I just spoke to at least a dozen or two personally on the phone with the founders today, and more phone and emails and texts. And I'm very confident about we've attracted the right minds and the right mentalities. When you were talking, Cindy, about the different models. If we back up a couple of slides, that kind of poked me out of my monkey cage, if you wish. And Eric, people know what I'm talking about now. When we're talking about the current models versus our own passive models, this is exactly something I'm passionate to share why we're doing what we're doing and how it will look differently. First of all, this is absolutely the very last live public webinar that anyone can become an early bird founder, period. The next time we will do, and we will do many live public webinars, but they're not going to be for early bird, and they're not going to be with this particular platform. It will be through OnPassive webinar platform, and it will be for regular affiliates. It will be very too late to become an early bird or even a founder at all. So this is the absolute last live public webinar for those who are getting the tremendously discounted rate to become founders, not only regular participants, but at the highest level of honors to become actual founders of a company that is very much likely to become a super unicorn. I do the math in my mind, it's done. Even if we achieve that in 10 years, we'll still count one unicorn. But I have a feeling, and my predictions, based on the facts, based on the value of OnPassive and the huge rate and prices that we're offering to get this massive value, it is very much likely to set records. What if this happens? I mean, we could achieve the unicorn status or even super unicorn? What if that happens in the next 2 to 3 years? That's why it's very obvious the different models. I was happily marketing different companies. I still have a couple that are really doing well, but they don't have 38,000 active founders globally. Needless to say, many are domestically or locally restricted. So we are already ahead of the game in my mind, and due to the facts, it's already a huge success. And what I have experienced, not recently, all along the way, when somebody who's a new uh, business owner or a savvy one, a guru, if you wish, a marketer, they're selling content and talk in a way packaged differently. They just change colors and design a different website. So I come too close to see the engineering and the manufacturing of those so-called programs. It was totally different from what I was attracted to when we talked about multi-level marketing, network marketing, or direct selling, or internet marketing in general. It was very different. It was unattractive to me. The ethics and the character that was behind those businesses. In a way, they would put up some different pay plan in a way, as Cindy said, turn it like money pits or a money game in a way, and they literally focus: how can I profit? How can I trick? How can I fool? How can I articulate this that it can be appealing to the average person, in my opinion, victim, and attract them to pay this price? And at the end, they realize, oh, how do we package it? In other words, now what product do we throw here? And for the most part, they would just put something either that is not original, not authentic, and not valuable at all. Mostly information. I've seen many good talks, good presentations. Okay, you may wonder why we don't have a fancy video. We could do this for OnPassive. Uh, we just have this raw, open, heart-to-heart and mind-to-mind conversation style. We don't want to have that. It is very easy. We've done it before. We could do it. And sadly, this is really attracting the wrong people, because people naturally they become attracted to uh, actors, some musical art or something very touching. Yeah, we could do that, but it's not who we want to attract, and it doesn't reflect who we are. We have a very genuine, sincere marketing solution. We did not think of a pay plan, and then we thought, let's think of what products do we put there. I always thought it is very easy to market and to build it, but I realized, oh, when I talk about, and this is intentionally, I'm going to do it now because I have to level up my intelligence with our great speakers that just spoke ahead of me. And so if I'm winking to you, everybody listening, aside from the speakers, if I sound intelligent, it's not true. Okay, so if I sound like uh, speaking a language above your head, just let it go, let it slide between me and you, because that's exactly my purpose, because I just want to sound like smart like them. So, but the fact is, and I'm jokingly injecting this in a way. Uh, when I used to speak this language, when I start talking, okay, oh, it's so easy. How do you do this, Ash? How do you get this many people today, or crush it, or be on the leaderboard? Or this, okay, easy, easy. How do you achieve such an income level? You just joined the company yesterday, and I've been here a long time. How do you do this? I said, "Oh, it's very simple. I just got this server. I just got this tool, and I start speaking this language. SEO. I had somebody to manage this. I had to do that. I hired at this. These are my sources. This is where I bought traffic from. This is what I built the funnel from. The redirect pages, my URL, my hyperlink, my email marketing, my solo ad. This is it. It's not a secret." So, and I realized this is what being packaged for thousands of dollars value. One time you pay and you don't make any money in return just for sharing the information. I was giving it away, sounding it's no big deal, it's no secret, when others are making it a secret and a very overpriced package. Now, when I tell this people, most of people say, "Oh, okay, okay," and I didn't know at the time, they didn't have a clue what I was talking about. Sounds like what this support tech from let's say in Asia in general. I mean, with all the respect, and what are they talking about? So this is basically the trigger. I said, "Oh, so this is difficult. I can do this." And I realized I can also do it for others. And I realized this is what we're looking for. So I said, why nobody's doing this? Why nobody actually given this act what they're talking about? I mean, they're talking about that, but nobody's actually doing the work, the original work, to give it to the users who are hungry to take it. They would pay for it. So I don't think it's going to take us 10 years to do that, because the demand is massive on what we have. I'm talking about every tool that we have. When you say, Cindy, about somebody's not on your team, Jeffrey Morlock may not be on your team, like the direct genealogy in a way, or the lineage in the matrix. Okay, but do you benefit when he does an ebook, or when Victoria does a video, a post in the community? Maintain a good mindset for our founders. When Scott Nelson would present something that is world class level, that is being watched by tens of thousands of people, when anyone makes a good comment, when Tim Johnson or any of the Johnsons are giving us a good poster, a good good morning cup of coffee, or hello, or the names are massive. Uh, they're not all directly in your team, but do you benefit indirectly? That's the core meaning of Passive. We put all of our energy together, all of our values and talents together, our resources collectively, and we become unstoppable, and we win passively. Why? Because it's impossible if I come and tell the average person, "Okay, no problem. First, get your domain name. You're going to host it with this. You're going to pay several $100s for the host. Have a dedicated server. Gonna have Linux or cloud host. You need a few web designers. You need somebody HTML and PSD designer. So a graphic designer. You need somebody who would code the platform for you. You need a gateway, a merchant. Of
Now you're
course, you need
scaring people, Ash. Now
and
you're
and
scaring them.
and you need somebody to set you up with security protocols for the servers and testers, and you need support. And what product are you going to provide? Is it global? Is it licensed? Do you have any documentations, any certificates? Do you have any of that? So if I tell you that, if it scares you talking about it, needless to say, putting this into reality. So chances is, I don't have any statistics to tell you 97, 95% of people would never have a chance in life. But the truth is, they do have the desire. And this is what we share here. This is the commonality between us. They give us the desire. They are well, beautiful, deserving people. They just been beaten up time after time after time with a solution that is broken, like a hollow, just inflated with nice fancy words and graphic and all of that, but it's just not a genuine solution. It's not a practical product. We are putting everything that we've done, of course, at a higher level, everything we wish to have, and desired, okay, all the knowledge, all the experience, all the connections, the leadership. I'm talking about each and everyone here is a major part of what we're doing. Even if you never become a Gofounder or a founder with OnPassive or an OnPassive affiliate, you just came in here to listen to us once and you didn't like this. That interest and giving us the attention is a message of something. There is a value in everything. So we have so much in common that we agree to put together on the table, and together we're making a massive ocean. We're unstoppable. There's nothing we cannot achieve, but we have to have the main thing is the trust, unconditional trust. If we are going to mix the past with the future, with what's possibly could go wrong and all that, it's not going to work. It's not a healthy relationship. There's no way the price of the things I told you can be for $97 one time on hold, or can be for $25 or $900. It is impossible. It's more than that. It's the partnership. It's something that is more human, I would say. It just, the impact goes way beyond the 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 business, plain business meaning and value. It is more human. It is more social in a way. It is more fulfilling in so many avenues, and I cannot wait to see you win with us, because this is a done deal. We see the facts. We see how far we can come, and there's no way to look back. It is so worth it. Even today, if today was the first day that we just decided to do OnPassive, realizing the facts and how massive is the demand, how many people could really, literally change their life positively from such a system, it is so worth it to go to work right now to figure out how to do it, because there's nothing impossible. Right now, I want to ask the last question to everybody here. So if you have a dream home in your mind, a visual of a high-rising building, or high-rise, or a skyscraper, or something, a hotel, or a nice building, you said, wow, this is nice. Can I tell you something? At some point, this was just an empty land or lot that was nothing there. But today is a gorgeous dream home for so many. You are the dreamer and the visionary right now that saw this land and built this in your mind along with me, that many people are going to see it after they pass and say, wow, I wish I could have this. You're having it before it's already on the ground. It's done. There's nothing we cannot achieve as humans when we come together. With that message, I want to say one thing. Anything you can imagine is real. We've imagined this, which is, to me, is not astronomical. It's just a normal, decent business model. And there is no way it will not be the very best, because this is how real businesses should be done. And we're going to set the record, and we're going to set models and examples for people to study the model of OnPassive. How did we do it? And you're going to be a part of this education and knowledge, and people will write about you, and you're going to be proud to look back and say, wow, I remember. If your name is Akia or Tony, or any of those great people, or Valerie, or Angela, or if you wrote something sometime in September 2019 on the community that was positive, you're going to look back and say, wow, I am proud. I saw this very early and I loved it. Or you're going to look back and say, oh, I wish I got it. I wish I paid attention, like those many beautiful names. So with that, I just cannot tell you how thrilled I am, how honored that you're here. Whether you do business with us or not, we are doing something great, uh, unheard of before, and it was just a nice thing that we are sharing it with you. But thank you so much for being with us. I know Victoria has something in mind. She wanted to call me on the spot for a reason, but my main passion is I know for a fact, and I knew a long time ago, that this is not how our business should be done, and this is very easy to achieve. You just need the right people with you, the right tools, the right sources and resources, and we have that. There's no way this will not be a perfect model. So thank you so much for calling me out. I wasn't prepared. And Victoria, do you have something in mind? I know you had a question before.
Well, no, I don't really have a question, but I just felt like with this being our last final public webinar, where the ones that have been invited here today, I just felt it was so important for them to be able to hear from you and to hear from your own mouth just how different OnPassive is going to be. I think that anyone who leaves here today should leave with the mindset, this is not just another ordinary business opportunity. This is definitely not just another internet program. We are going to make history, and I just wanted them to hear from you. Thank you.
Well, and I want to add to that, if you don't mind, Victoria. I so appreciate all that Ash has had to say, and the fact that he has, like I said, he's helped us to unite and to be connected and to really get that vision that we are in this together as a global entity. All right, each and every one of us, wherever we're from, are working together with Ash Mufareh, the creator of this wonderful business, to achieve one of the greatest businesses the internet or the world has ever seen, in my opinion. I absolutely believe that this is going to be a super unicorn. It is going to be huge very quickly. And I would like to add a little something that I read in our community by one of our founders, Mr. Tony Monk. He mentioned that one of the original Apple founders sold his 10% interest in Apple back in 1976 for $800. Today, that same 10% is worth $60 million. Do you suppose that guy wishes maybe he didn't? I mean, I believe that OnPassive will be far greater than anything we've ever seen, and we have the good fortune and the blessing to be involved in this now. And I would really urge all invitees out there to jump in. We'd love to have you for sure, but also, it's 100% money back guarantee should you decide down the road. You are not going to lose with this. It is absolutely an amazing business. We have amazing, wonderful, caring leaders from all over the world, and I just feel every day, I feel blessed just to be a little part of this paradigm shift for the whole industry. I also want to say hello. Someone texted me. Again, he's not on my personal team, but it's someone that I've spoken with and I've worked with in the past, but it's Pastor Carl White. He was trying to say hello, and I missed his name when I was early on giving introductions, so I want to say hello to Carl. And he's a great example of another founder out there who is so glad that he's here and so feels so blessed that he's part of this wonderful business, and he wants to thank Ash personally. And that said, I'm going to turn over to you, Victoria.
I just wanted to say real quick, as you were talking about teams, I could just see all of that will become a blurred line.
Totally, yeah.
And even like you said, even before we had a name, when we first started, everyone was still in the same frame of mind of what we've been used to all these years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was understandable that, you're wanting to build this team, they're building this team, they're building that team. But as we have come along in this time, we have also began to see, and just like Ash said, everything we do is going to benefit everyone. So it's not about being on this team or being on that team. That
Exactly.
doesn't even matter.
But the mindset, and for the invitees, it is a place that we've come from. All right,
yes, but we don't want them to come in thinking that they have to maintain that mindset, because they don't.
That's correct. Great point. Great point. Excellent.
We are a
and
worldwide
we are all in
family.
it together, and that's the thing that I mentioned earlier, that we're not. Ashmafara has set this whole business model up that, and this is one of the things I just love about the man. I love about the business that he's created, that we are in business with each other and not in competition of each other, that we aren't cutthroat, that I've got to get out there and grab people away from Victoria or Scott or whomever. We are working together to help each of us achieve success together. All right? And that is pretty wonderful.
It doesn't matter. So it does not matter who brought you in. Everyone is going to succeed. That is our guarantee, 100%.
Yep.
Hey, Victoria, Cindy?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering if I can take just maybe a couple of real quick minutes, and I want to talk a little bit about the product and about the founder opportunity, just to kind of highlight, to leave this, some food for thought, for our visitors to be able to sleep on maybe. I'm really hoping that
Is that a bonus, Jeffrey?
Is it a bonus? It's always a bonus with OnPassive.
Yes, indeed. Let's do it.
That's our master ebook writer and author, and I'll tell you, and there again, Ash mentioned that, I have used his tools so much. I mean, awesome man, Jeffrey. Thank you for being such a giving, caring person.
I'm in it to win it, and I'm behind him 100%. But I just wanted to reiterate to everyone here, as good of a job as I know that Mr. Nelson did, that our products, they actually are representative of a brand new standard in online marketing, period, bar none. They are a brand new standard, okay? And they take primarily the form of two things: a non-competitive and a self-funding business solution. So for you visitors, you got that, right? Non-competitive, meaning we have affiliates and founders and everybody coming into us, and we do not compete with them. We help them. We don't take their business or anything like that. Self-funding simply means that once you buy into the Byte Matrix at whatever purchase you get in at, then it pays for itself each month. It starts paying you to use the system, which pays for the system. So you're going to make hands over fists, and you won't have to be digging into your pocket every month. Okay? And what you get with all of this is every imaginable tool that you're ever going to need for successful online marketing, period. It's all done for you. Okay? It's a system that's got everything that you'll ever need, everything imaginable. It's all easily accessible. It's all in one place, all under one roof. I mean, this is huge. For you people that are marketers, do you understand? You got to go after funnels and rotators and landing pages, and you got to get all those things Mr. Mufara was talking about. Everything you need is here under one roof in one platform, and it's all brand new. It's been built from the ground up. This is powerful. This is absolutely powerful. There's
and do
no
I get
copycat.
paid to use it,
There's no
or how much do I pay for it, Jeffrey?
The system pays the affiliate, the founder, to use the system, and that's every month. It will generate income for the affiliate.
I no longer have to pay for my marketing budget. I have no need to bring a massive budget, not to pay for everything and look for everything scatterly. So everything in one place, all the tools I need, effective tools, and I don't pay for it, and you pay me as OnPassive to use it. Get out of here, man.
Well, now if you come in, even check this out. Starting at the second level, even the traffic, even the recruiting is all guaranteed. You get your visitors. I mean, you're not looking to convert leads. You're not going after people. You're not talking to friends and family. You're not trying to talk people into anything. It's there. It's all here. It's done. And the most beautiful thing about this whole thing, Mr. Muvar, and you know it, you put it together, that OnPassive's goals, quite simply, we want to ethically and fairly provide to the world everything that we can to whoever needs it. Whoever needs it, we want to provide it to them, period. It kind of reminds me of when somebody was talking to Mr. Bezos from Amazon, and he said, well, do you want to sell everybody everything? And he said, no, we just want to sell them what they buy. I mean, that's what we've got. Every tool that is imaginable for needing a successful online or offline. Now you could use offline businesses too. For this is included.
That.
Yeah, it's included.
They're buying it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They need it anyway.
That's right. That's right.
And they're all broken methods and tools. So I see. I didn't mean to challenge you. I'm just trying to like it's hitting me even more that no wonder it's a definite unicorn in my mind. It's absolutely a winner.
All the way.
OnPassive
I just can't believe it. I keep wanting to pinch myself to even know that I'm in this. I mean, and you know, and that to know it's not too late to get in as a founder. I mean, I'm just racking my brain for people that I know that would just be so blessed to be a founder. You know, and
I would. Something else you need to know.
But, well, yeah, I just want to share it with the world. I mean, if I could, I would get an airplane or several, you know, to go around the world with a big old banner, you know, because everybody that could use a little bit of extra income or a little bit of extra traffic for whatever business they have, they need OnPassive. I mean, they're going to profit by being involved in OnPassive. And again, it's a 100% guaranteed. It's a slam dunk, and I know that. I think it's Victoria that doesn't like that slam dunk. Is that the one that you don't like, Victoria?
She doesn't like no brainer and newbie.
Yeah, no brainer, newbie, but all of it. This is for you newbies out there. It's a no brainer. It's a slam dunk. It's all those things. Victoria hates the words of, but really, those are perfect descriptions too at the same time, because it's all done for you. And I love, Ash was so correct. It gives me a headache when he starts talking about all that coding and all that business. I don't have to know it all. This company has included it all and does it for us. And another thing that isn't talked about here so much, but down the road, if we need it as affiliates, as founders, or if we need something done for us, the company will make it available for us. Might cost a little bit, but it'll make it available for us. If there's a need for it, you better believe this company will provide it. And you just have to have the faith and the conviction. I know I couldn't have any stronger.
I think Victoria wants to close it. We could stop the recording.
Please
Looks
do,
like
Victoria.
we have more. We could stop the recording so we can make this watchable. But at the same time, would like to chat and give everybody a chance to talk, since this is being almost like a ceremony for the final public webinar. But Jeffrey, please jump back in. We can talk. I mean, I've got
one more thing that I think really needs to be said, and that's that $97 for the founder's position is for the founder's position. That's it.
One time or
that's a one-time payment, but it doesn't put you in the matrix or anything. You are purchasing the first line leader position of founder for $97. So it's not like, oh, I paid my $97, now I get in. That's just for the founder's position. Just I wanted to put that out there.
But when it launches, Jeffrey, isn't it true that all will have to be, I mean, that
I will sign up under him.
All founders will when it does launch, will be able to come in at whatever level we choose, whether it's the $25 or the $125 or the $250 or the.
Everybody, including founders, will start with a 7-day free period.
Oh, cool.
That's what we all.
Cool. See, that's just everything's just.
So can I look for Ash's link and sign up under him? Is that possible? So I can get like a very good position in the matrix under the owner.
It'll be timestamped.
Not have a link.
Mm-hmm. You'll be and anyway, it would be time stamped. Whoever link you join as an invitee, it's time stamped. You know, as far as when you come into the matrix. That's why It's important. In all you invitees, jump in. Again, I just tell people, here's what I tell people on my calls. Just close your eyes, grit your teeth, and just jump in and pay the $97. There's no risk, because if you're not happy down the road, it's 100% guaranteed. But if you understand the way this is, there's not a Chinaman. Well, I better watch myself there. There's not a chance that you're going to change your mind. I just about said something politically incorrect. It's like Scott saying, "Get caught with your pants down." But
Well,
we have to learn. We have to learn how to speak here. But guys, you are so invited to something so phenomenal, so awesome, that's absolutely going to change your life forever. But not only that, it's going to allow you to help your community, help your family, help your corner of the world, or help other parts of the world in helping their world be just a little bit better. This is going to make it so easy for us to do that. And
Cindy, I want to add too, before you finish that thought. The one thing we've talked about, all of these different tools, which, and as you've already said many times, if it's not in the back office, we don't need it. There's going to be everything back there. But what I really want people to understand is that just because the tools are back there, that doesn't mean that you have to learn how to use everything. Right. This is what OnPassive is doing for us. Those tools are there because we do have people who like to market and like to promote, even though the system is going to be doing it for them. So
are you saying,
I don't
like
want anybody
Tesla?
to.
They're like on autopilot or auto drive. They're just self-driven.
Wow. Absolutely. I don't want anybody to be to feel intimidated.
But I still have to buy traffic
tools
to market, right?
Yes,
I still,
but the platform is also going to
a
do
user.
that for
that
you.
would
Oh, no additional traffic.
You don't have
no
to buy
additional traffic.
Your package
That's the beauty of OnPassive.
So you give me a
you don't
running
have to buy
vehicle
any
that will
extra.
drop me off where I want to go?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't have to pay for the gasoline or
Absolutely.
any. Oh God!
You don't have to pay for any of it. You don't have to pay for any of it.
It's
It's
all
doing it
included in the
all
package
for
that you get.
you. You don't have to do any extra marketing or advertising